Sri Vaheguru Sahib Ji Ek Onkar Sat Nam Karta ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦ ਸੱਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸੱਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸੱਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਸਖੀ ਕਾਜਲ ਹਾਰ ਤੰਬੋਲ ਸਭੈ ਕਿਛ ਸਾਜਿਆ, ਸੋ ਲਹੈ ਕੀਏ ਸੀਗਾਰ ਕੇ ਅੰਜਨ ਪਾਜਿਆ। ਜੇ ਘਰ ਆਵੈ ਕੰਤ ਤਾ ਸਭ ਕਿਛ ਪਾਈਐ, ਹਰਿਹਾ ਕੰਤੈ ਬਾਜ ਸੀਗਾਰ ਸਭ ਬਿਰਥਾ ਜਾਈਐ। ਸਖੀ ਕਾਜਲ ਹਾਰ ਤੰਬੋਲ ਸਭੈ ਕਿਛ ਸਾਜਿਆ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
ਗੁਰੂ ਰੂਪ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਵਾਰੀ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, ਆਪ ਸਭ ਮਾਈ ਭਾਈ ਧੰਨ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰਦਿਆਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਫਤਿਹ ਬੁਲਾਈਏ। ਸੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ। ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ blesses us. So whatever instruction Maharaj imparts to us through Sri Gurbani ji di Katha, Sri 52 Hukam ji di Katha, that it can become like a beacon for us in our lives on our spiritual journey. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh. So Guru Rup, Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat Ji, over the course of 4 weeks, Dhan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, they blessed us with that time to hear the wrath of the Panch Kakar, which is entailed in the 7th Hukam. Dhan Sri Kalgidhar Sache Padshah now brings us to the 8th Hukam, and the 8th Hukam is Sri Gurbani ji de Shabad da abhihas karna. Even though it's written as Shabad da abhihas karna, it's important to say Sri Gurbani ji de Shabad da abhihas karna. Because Shabad means word. But when Guru Sahib ji says it, they refer to Sri Gurbani ji. So it's important to us to add Sri Gurbani ji to it. In English, Sri Gurbani ji da Shabad da abhihas karna means with repetitive discipline approach, keep on practicing the meditation of Sri Gurbani ji. In very short, what that means, what Guru Sahib ji is saying to us, is that whatever Sri Gurbani ji on top of our Nitnem, we must seek to find time, Shabad by Shabad, Pankti by Pankti, to increase the amount of Sri Gurbani ji we have read in our lives. Also what we have read, to understand what we have read, to meditate on it, reflect on it, and then bring it to live in ourselves. Now that is something that we will move to in part 2 of this Katha, which will most likely be next week. Now last week we heard about the wrath of the Panj Kakar. Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat ji, even though Das again and again mentioned the importance of keeping wrath, or wrath that Guru Sahib ji has told us, also equally important, the wrath of the Panj Kakar. Even though I mentioned it again and again and again, Tan Satguru Gobind Singh Sahib ji Maharaj, Satguru Granth Sahib ji, Nirankar Satguru Nanak Dev Sahib ji Maharaj, who created, who made this man, not only physically, not only spiritually, but bit by bit, even the programming that runs within inside us. They know exactly what level of understanding we need. Hence why the Kakaran di Wrath came at number 7 and at number 8 came Shabad abhihas. If someone was to take Amrit, now this is going to be more of a Katha directed at those that have taken Amrit. However, those who have not taken Amrit, it does not mean this is not for yourselves. One day you shall take Amrit, and when you do, it's best to know what we should prepare ourselves for. Now, when we take Amrit, Panch Kakar we pen le, Bana we palya, we may have Bana on us, may have Panch Kakar, may even be holding a 3-foot city set. If we haven't got Guru Sahib ji to come and reside in us through Priti, through love, then Gurmukha, we are just an empty vessel. That sounds harsh, but Guru Maharaj Satguru Ji's mat says, where he wants us, where Satguru Ji wants us to be complete on the outside, there must be completeness on the inside, and completeness is when there is pyar. We all hear Jin Prem Kiyo Tin Hi Prabh Payo. When we say that, we say, yeah, we should go out and feed the hungry, or we should go out and take care of the homeless. Those are good deeds. Those are not the arth of Jin Prem Kiyo Tin Hi Prabh Payo. Jin Prem Kiyo Tin Hi Prabh Payo means Jine Prem Kita Kede Naal Guru Naal. Whoever has come to love Guru has come to obtain Guru. Maharaj has given us a way that can be best explained as a panchi, as a bird. Like a bird has two wings, so does our Jivan in Sikhi, where from the outside we adorn ourselves with the Panch Kakar, within inside ourselves we must also adorn ourselves with the second wing, which is Prem for our Guru. It's our Prem for our Guru which causes Guru to come and reside inside us. The Shabad we are about to hear, Das wants to take our attention here, and we will learn a great deal. I'm just going to move straight on to the Shabad. So Pachangi Singh sitting next to me will read Pankti by Pankti, Das will do Vyakhya of it, and then come back to the second Pankti.
Sakhi kajal har tam bol sabbai kich sajya.
Sakhi is hey friend. When Guru Sahib Ji speaks Gurbani, writes Gurbani, Maharaj speaks it in many tenses from many angles. Here Maharaj talks from one friend, female, talking to another friend, because we are all wives of Akal Purkh Waheguru. He is the Purkh, we are all Nar, even the males are Nar. The body is male, not the inner being. So Sakhi, Guru Sahib Ji is talking to us, saying, Sakhi, hey friend, Kajal, when we put surma in our eyes, har, put flowers around her neck. Tambol is, even though in these lands it's not a practice, and I don't think it's ever been a practice, but towards South India, the chewing of betel nut was a practice that was considered to add beauty to a woman. So, tambol, the chewing of betel nut, sabah kich sajya, even if some istri, Maharaj is teaching us was to do that.
16 किए सिगार के अंजन पाज्या
16, if she was to do 16 types of shingar. Shingar is when you adorn yourself to make yourself look pretty, which is more common amongst women, not men. So 16 kiye sigar ki anjan pajya. Even if that istri Maharaj is saying was to do 16 types of different acts of beautification. Anjan surma vi parya.
जे घर आवे कंत ता सब किछ पाइए
Je kar aave kant. It all pivots on this. The whole reason for the istri, for the woman, for the bride to beautify herself through these 16 ways is for who? Not for herself, is for her husband. Now, je kar aave kant is husband. If that husband comes into that house, ta sab kich paiye, she gains everything.
हरिहा कंत बाज सिगार सब बिरथा जाइए
Har ha, Paramatma, Akal Purkh, Vaheguru, oh Lord, Kanta Baj, without the Lord, without the husband, see God, the beautification, Sab Birtha Jaiye, Maharaj says it all goes to waste. Because the istri she did, the wife, she beautified herself for who? For who? Her husband. If the husband doesn't come home, then she's done it in vain, it's all gone to waste. I want to come back to the second pankti. Sole kiye sigar ki anjan pajya. Sole sigar. Gurmukha, if the Sikh takes Amrit, having taken Amrit outwardly, he's even got the Panch Kakar, the importance of the keeping of the rate of which we heard over the last 4 weeks. Even if the Gursikh takes Amrit, Baro Panch Kakar bhi paya. But if Andron, je Mano Priti nahi, if that Gursikh hasn't caused Guru Sahib Ji to come and reside in their house, Maharaj says, Sab Birtha Jaiye, it's all gone to waste. What are those 16 sigar? It's best to listen to them. So now we'll listen to these 16 sigar.
सकल सोच जाल
Sakal Sot Jal. These, in this day and age, whether it's women or men, they just about have a bath, they stick on links or what other women's perfumes there are, and that's the extent of beautification. Let's listen to the extents that the women of old, the desh that we're from, what is called India today, which was called Bharat at one time. Let's see to what extent they went to. Sakal Such Jal, to clean the entire body with pure water.
मंजना बटना
Manjana Batana, the teeth, to keep them clean, to keep them polished, by way of what you would call today toothpaste. In the olden days they had powders and whatnot to keep the hygiene of these teeth.
अमल बस्तर
Amal Bastar, to make sure that kapde, all the kapde on their tan are clean. Amal, they are clean and they are pure. They are also nice looking kapde.
करपाद राग
Karpad Rag. Karpad Rag, having mendi on your hands, on your lower arms, on your feet. These kind of decorations.
केस शोभा
Case soba, to have washed clean hair, braided, plaited. There's certain oils you can use to make it look silky and even scented.
अंग राग
Angarag. These days we get perfumes. In the olden days there used to be chandan and kesar, very beautiful smelling scents. Women would put them on their shoulders over here, around the neck and other parts of their body. Those were the perfumes used back in the day.
भूखन
Apukhan is to adorn yourselves, having done all that with jewels, with gems, with pearls. and such things, and even gold if it comes to be
Mukhdas,
mukdas, not to have bad breath, to chew stuff like lechi. Lechi gives a very nice smelling breath. Lechi also kills off many bacteria in our saliva. I don't know why I pointed that out, but it was it just came out. So mukdas, lechi adab, to chew that to cause good smelling breath.
Mukhrag,
Mukhrag, these days we have lipstick. In the olden days women used to have powders, even liquids that were made from natural colors, and they used to color their lips, and it would give a natural kind of red color, not a sharp red color, but a nice looking red color.
Lol Lochan Darshan.
Lol Lochan Darshan. Men will never understand this because they can never do it, but women can do it. They say that a woman possesses a captivating look, that she can captivate a man with her eyes purely by looking at him, if she knows how to do it. Now, Lol Lochan Darshan is when the eyes are used in a certain way, in a kind of sarcastic, in a kind of witty way, in a kind of way that it draws the person in, captivates the person, allures the person who's looking at them.
Anjal Netar.
Now, even though it's written Anjal Netar, it may well be Anjana Netar. Now, Anjal Netar or Anjana Netar is when you put Anjan, surma, in our eyes. So, Bibiya would put surma on top of having done everything else.
Manj Pakhan.
Manj Pakhan, to speak in a very sweet way, in a very nice way that is pleasing to their lover, to their husband, to their Lord. Hanji Singh ji.
Manjahas.
Manjahas. Now, never to have a frown on their face, a smile, a happy face, the kind of face that you'd want to look at again and again.
Chit Chatarai.
Chit Chatarai, intelligent, well spoken. Even if a woman had all the aforementioned and she didn't have Chit Chatarai, the second she opens her mouth, the cat's out the bag, it's all gone. Maharaja Dalip Singh, when he was living in France, he married a woman. She was of bad character, of low character. In other words, a prostitute. He had a child with her. When he went to Russia to convince the Russian, I forgot his name now, to convince the Russian king at that time to back his cause in taking back the throne that was his in Punjab, everyone respected that woman as being the partner of Maharaja Dalip Singh. They gave him board to stay in a palace, they gave him everything a prince should deserve. But the second she opened her mouth, everything went out the window. They even asked him to leave. Why? Looks wise, she was pretty. Dress sense, she would wear the finest clothes. Why? Because she's with the prince. But when she spoke, her speaking was just normal street level talk. And that then revealed to the people that they were living with that she's not even a commoner, maybe even below a commoner. So, Chit Chatarai, to be intelligent, to be well spoken, to have a good head on the shoulders, as so to speak.
Challan Char,
a well-placed stride, a well-postured walk. Now, if I can take our attention, even though it's a very dull example, to the catwalk, they spent so much time in perfecting that walk, but that walk has no place here. In this beauty, in this beautification, a woman, when she walks, her child is again alluring to her husband.
Pati Bharta.
Pati Bharta, the most important of these all. If a woman has all the aforementioned, but she doesn't have Pati Bharta, it's like having petals but not the stem, the flower is not complete. Pati Bharta is when that istri, having all that previously mentioned beauty and 4 ways of beautification, despite having all that, including having all that, she has something called Pati Bharta. Pati Bharta is when she knows no other than her husband. Her husband is all she knows. She doesn't even look at another man. Now, this is a nishani of something called At Sundarta. I'll move on to that in a minute. Even if these 16 shingar are present in a woman, but her husband has not come home to reside and be with her, then all those 16 shingar were done for absolutely no reason. They were done in vain. They hold no value. They only hold value if the one who she does them for comes and takes her in his embrace. Now, when this is spoken about in the relationship between Jeev Atma and Paramatma, between Sikh and Satguru, if the Sikh has not got priti towards Guru Sahib, today Das was in Leicester, Tan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj blessed Das with 3 lessons there for youth, and one of the girls asked a very valid question. It was about Panchakaran di Ret that Das had gone there in relation to. What she asked, she said that someone said to her, when you go to take Amrit, remove in a method that will not cause for them to grow back your hair that you don't want, and then take Amrit, and then that way you'll never have to remove hair after taking Amrit. And she said to me, she said, is that okay? I said, absolutely not. If you're entering into a relationship already where you use chatarai, cleverness with your guru, what kind of a relationship is that going to be when that's gone from the word go? There's no priti for your guru. Priti is for how other people might see you if they see hair on your body. The priti is for people, it's not for guru. If it was for guru, then we wouldn't care what the world thinks. So when we got priti for our guru, that's when those of you who were present during the Sukhmani Sahib di Katha, Das emphasized this point many times, that when we've got love for our guru, genuine love, Gurmukh, that's when Guru Sahib Ji comes to reside in our heart. Otherwise, just by us saying Rab mere dil ch hai, ja Guru mere dil ch wasta, they are words and that's all they are. They have no genuine meaning to them. Because the only genuinity they have to them is, yes, Guru Rab does was in every single heart. Until you have not come to gain your Guru's khushi, he does not come and reside in the capacity that we're referring to. So Pati Bhatta we heard about, at it being a nishani of At Sundarta. Look, Gurmukh, Guru Maharaj is Tan. They teach us in many different ways. In the first Shabad you heard, Maharaj says, Sole kiya sigar ki anjan pajya. Maharaj ne 16 shingar bhi kite, anjan bhi laya hoya. Je kar aave kant ta sab kich paiya. If having done all that, the husband Lord Guru comes to reside in the home, then you achieve everything. If not, the 16 shingar are nothing. Maharaj in these panktiyan really shake the earth from underneath my feet. I don't know whether it will shake the earth from underneath anyone else's feet. Tan Guru Sahib Ji Maharaj says, Slok, At Sundar, Kuleen, Chatar, Mukh, Gyani, Tanvant, Mirtak Kahiya Nanka, Jeh Preet Nahi Bhagwant. Word by word, At Sundar. At Sundar, you heard about the Sundarta from the 16 Shingar. At Sundar, there's women on this earth, whether they're here now or not, I don't know. They're called Padmani. Padmanis, they have no need to undertake any kind of beautification. They have been blessed already with that kind of beauty from a Kalput Vaigur. Should a man set his eyes on them, he would become besotted with them. So At Sundar, even if someone is At Sundar, Kuleen, Kul meaning family, bloodline, Kuleen meaning of the highest bloodline and a very high standing in society. अत सुंदर कुलीन चतुर चतुर ऐसा होवे that has the sharpest intellect in every single subject. ऐसा चतुर. There is someone who's actually like this. I'm going to come back to that. Chatur, Mukh Jnani, Ete Nirnaya. Mukh Jnani means someone who from memory can recite, can repeat all the gyan that you can obtain. Tanavanta has no limit when it comes to wealth. Gold, pearls, diamonds, horses, elephants, castles, land, wives. That is Tanvant. ऐसा भी जे कोई होवे ना अत सुंदर कुलीन चतर मुख ज्ञानी तनवंत. Who is Maharaj talking about here? Now Gurmukh, some people may think of him as a mythical figure. Absolutely not. Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is witness to this person having walked on this planet. Who is Maharaj talking to here? Maharaj is talking about Ravan. His Sundarta. I know when they make films in India, they make a really ugly looking bloke, and they even make a butt of him, a model of him, and burn him every single year when Diwali comes. Ravan was so sundar, so beautiful. Gurmukh, the most beautiful being out of all the beings, setting Guru Sahib Ji to one side, is Kam Devta. Even Kam Devta used to get shy at having looked at Ravan. Kul-een, he was from Brahman background, his father was a Brahman, so his bloodline was pure. High standing, he was the king not only of this earth here, he had conquered heaven, he had conquered Patal as well. Tinna lokan da Vijay Kar. Right? Kuleen Chatur. He was so brainy. Now again, people, because we don't sometimes understand this, we dismiss it as folklore. If I was to say he created the hydrogen bomb, people will think, oh no, he can't because Oppenheimer created it. Ask Oppenheimer who created it. He'll tell you who created it because the words he used when he first set off the nuclear bomb was those from Mahabharata. You see, Ravan's wife, when he died, she came back to reside in the lands of Germany. That's where she was from. She got married and she went to live in Lanka. When he died, she came back to her Pekekar. The technology that was available in those days, she brought back blueprints, she brought back all sorts of technology that was passed on from generation by generation, from king to king to king to king through their royal family. And that's the knowledge that Hitler pursued in order to achieve the atom bomb, but he wasn't successful. His research is what led Oppenheimer to successfully create the atom bomb. So Chatar, his intelligence was second to none. It said he had 100,000 sons, 125,000 grandsons. He did not produce them by the conventional way, he grew them in jars. Aren't we now doing cloning by using cells? He had the same technology but at a far superior level to what we have it at now. So Chatar, he was so high when it comes to being academic, shall I say. Mukh Jnani, there's 4 Ved in the Hindu math. To just learn to read them, you need to learn to read Sanskrit, which takes 36 years just to master how to read it. He had 4 Ved Kant. From memory he could recite them and do the arth and do Katha on them. Tanvant, how Tanvant was he? He had any wife that he wanted. He tried to take Sita, he couldn't get her. Tanvant, he had Lanka made of gold. Tanvant, he had 100,000 sons and 125,000 grandsons. What more wealth could a man ask for? He was so Tanvant. But what does Guru Sahib Ji say? What does Tan Satguru Sahib Ji teach us here? Maharaj says, Mirtak kaiya nanaka. Maharaj says, call him a dead person. Mirtak kaiya nanaka je preet nahi bhagwant. He had no preeti for Kalpuk Vaheguru. So if we adorn ourselves from the outside, look, Guru Sahib isn't really saying this to us, but sometimes we got to go to the extreme to learn the norm. Baro ਆਪਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਛਕ ਕੇ ਬਾਣਾ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਪੰਜਾਂ ਕਕਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਤੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਸਜਾ ਵੀ ਲਿਆ, ਰਹਿਤ ਵੀ ਰੱਖਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ, ਪਰ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਨਾ ਕੀਤਾ। ਸ਼ਬਦ ਅਭਿਆਸ is what will cause Guru Kanth to come and live inside us. ਜੇ ਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਨਾ ਹੋਈ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, then Maharaj has already told us what happens ਜੇ ਸ਼ੋਲਾ ਸ਼ਿੰਗਾਰ ਕੀਤੇ, Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਬਿਰਥੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ। Moving on from that, Maharaj mentioned At Sundar Kuleen Chaturmukh Gyani Tanvant Mritak Kahiye Nanka Je Preet Nahi Bhagwant. Maharaj says Je Preeti nahi, consider that person as a dead person. Now when I hear that, for me that shows me and gives me direction. Guruji's Tadna, Guruji, if they even speak to us in harsh words, it's like a mountain full of diamonds. There's so much wealth in it. There's so much that Maharaj is giving us in that. When I read that, then that gives me a scale to measure where I am on that scale. I might not even be on that scale, but it gives me a scale to work towards, to aspire towards. So Gurmukha, in the opening part of the 8th Hukam, Das has shared with you that if we have not got Preeti, Pama Baro Pamrit Shakya, Panch Kakar vi pehne, we look the part from the outside. If the andro Preeti nahi, then Gurmukha, it's like a one-winged bird. Now next week we will listen how to do Shabd Abhihas and what Shabd Abhihas does. Because in this day and age, from this very stage, and stages are like this across the Sikh world, people are sitting on these stages, instead of injecting through Katha, that Katha that's going to build faith in Guru Sahib Ji, they're injecting that rubbish that's going to totally deplete any faith in the people that are listening to it. They're telling you there's no need to do Simran, there's no power in Ardas. They are telling you there's no need to read Bani again. Oh, believe you me, जिन्ना चर शब्द का अभ्यास नहीं किया, the 8th Hukam है ना, तो माया का पर्दा उठिया नहीं. Until that time this chapter is not complete. Shabd Abhihas is paramount. So next week is the second part where we will reflect upon whatever Guru Sahib Ji blesses us with. Das's turn will be again next week, and then after that week it will be by Gurmohan Singh Ji, I believe. I'll have to confirm that with him. So Gurmukh Das wants to thank Dhan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, the King of Kings, who keeps their hand on all of our heads and not only brings us here, sends us where they want to send us. Das wants to thank you, Gurmukh. That is your destiny for the last 4.5 years. You've been listening to the Katha of Sri Sukhmani Sahib, now Banja Hukam, and because of this I have been blessed. I hope I'm doing this, the seva of this Katha, for yourselves. Das wants to thank the media team by Jagdeep Singh, and whilst doing Katha, if Das made any mistakes whatsoever, Gurmukh maaf karna, bhulna chuka di khima bakshni. Until next week, आओ फतेह बुलाइए तो दर्शन करेंगे. वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह.